There's many issues going on here, and there's a reason that we interrogate guys in isolation when we grab them, and we try to keep the stuff that gets leaked to the media, or not leaked, but gets released to the media, to an absolute minimum. And one of the reasons is because a guy like Alvedisla could be conveying commands to his cell. You can do things like stay, run, or execute. And as it became more and more evident that he was giving away details, is this the attack that his cell had planned, and they decided to push up the timeline and get it off? So there's going to be a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking on this, and I think there's probably going to be a lot of fault to be found with the Belgians. But I need to say this. The Belgians are unbelievable when it comes to fighting terror, and they're simply overwhelmed.
Right.
They have more open cases than they have men and women to track them down. This is a numbers game, and they're drowning.
And that was one of the stories that came out about this, is that it's a small country. They've never really had to deal with terror on this particular scale before. And one of the law enforcement authorities, or perhaps the spokesperson for law enforcement there in Brussels, was saying, look, we are in Belgium, we are just where it is overwhelming. Our system is not big enough to be able to handle this, nor do we have the resources to be able to go and cover a huge area in order to seek these people out. And I know the Brits are sending over extra personnel. Germany's apparently sending extra personnel. They haven't had anything to deal with like this before.
No, and I talked to one of my guys that's worked extensively with the Belgians, and he raved about them, and he feels terrible for what's happened, because not only do you have intelligence services in Belgium that are overworked, but you have a highly uncooperative Muslim community, particularly in and around Brussels, that is not helping out. There are some informants, there are some tips that are happening. But, Dana, what we're seeing here is, we hear that radical Islam is a minority within the Islamic faith, and the numbers aren't bearing that out. We're a decade and a half almost away from 9/11. We're 30 years away from the attacks on the Rome and Vienna airports, and this stuff isn't stopping.
No.
So the desire for the quote-unquote moderate Muslims, the good Muslims, to put an end to terror in the name of Islam, it doesn't exist. And we need to stop pretending that it does, and we need to start coming up with other ideas on how to basically cripple financially every Muslim country in the world until they come online and they start cracking down on their own fanatics. There's nothing else we can do. Another Western life should not be lost because the good moderate Muslims will not cooperate.